The Jeffrey Show.
Who could be scared of a Jeffrey?
My name's Jeff.
It's fun to intro. I always get fired up on it. So we got Nick Crays back on my show. And of course, we have a new guest here, Miss Diana Donaldson. She will be referred to as Diana moving forward. I had to ask just to make sure if there's any other names you wanted to just, so Diana is perfect. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate any new guest that wants to participate on the Jeffy and Jeffrey show. So thank you. And Nick, thanks again for, doing this and, being an active participant.
Thanks for having me back.
Yeah. I thought this was kind of funny. Remember I said, what would you like on your rider?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see this Frank Sinatra thing that he had?
No.
Okay. I think you both might get a kick out of this. I thought this was funny. So here's what Frank Sinatra demands on his rider. I thought this is so funny. So we'll get a little list going here.
He gets what he wants.
Yeah. He had a color TV with a second input for in-house pickup. I wonder, you know what that means maybe. Piano, telephone with dedicated line. That's funny. And all alcohol he wanted. But it gets a little nutty. Like there's 37 things that he wants. And so I just thought it was pretty crazy. Like all this, does he really need all of that? So like when I ask people to come over, when they're coming over, I'm like, what would you like on your rider? Basically, do you need only purple Skittles? Do you want Fruit Loops? Do you want
It's pretty good.
a specific drink? I just thought that'd be funny to share because I thought it was like kind of on the outside when I told Nick, what would you like on your rider? Have you ever had anything like that when you were doing shows back in the day when you were touring? Did they ever ask?
Absolutely. That's kind of normal for me. But when I was on larger tours opening for bigger bands, it was kind of, we didn't get much of a rider. It was like always that Costco pack of carrots and celery and ranch. And we would always sneak into the main act's green room when they were on stage to go steal their food and their alcohol.
And so you never said, I want something like a little nutty, like something kind of out of the box that was just...
Not really. I mean, we were all young, so it was usually just like, can you just get us some beer?
That's kind of like the basic, really. I mean, that's all you really need sometimes. And maybe some water, but like then when you're younger, you're like, who cares about water? Beer has water.
Yeah. They never really asked us on the bigger tours. It was more like, because I toured with like bands like Bauhaus, and like the Dandy Warhols, and like it was more about them, we were just the opening act. It didn't matter. But everybody was always cool with us, just like going into their green room and taking all their stuff.
Because there would be so much extra stuff that that you'd get.
Yeah.
I was actually I was help picking up like stuff for a wedding, and it's just like endless food pallets of like, and it would look good probably when it first was served. But then you start seeing flies flying around, and you're like, this is such a waste of food. I just feel so bad that I have a thing with waste. So seeing that, it was like kind of sinful in a way.
Yeah. They probably, and venues don't want to spend any extra money on opening bands anyways. Like, yeah. Remember the guitar player of Bauhaus, Daniel Ash, he was vegan, so there was always like a refrigerator full of vegan foods and snacks, and we would know like, don't touch those. That's Daniel's vegan stuff.
So it'd always be like a platter of like the celery, carrots, and broccoli. That standard dish you always see.
That's what we would get. He would get something way fancier, like some like whole food prepackaged meal.
Yeah, like some hummus and that was like the dedicated. Yeah.
Yeah, he got the hummus. We got the ranch dressing.
Diane, I'm so happy that you're here because I've been having like...
Just a minute.
What?
This is sad. I didn't even know what a rider was.
A rider is basically...
I've never been invited.
Yeah. Well, a rider is basically what Frank Sinatra and all the... Like Beyonce Knowles...
I know now.
Yeah, Beyonce Knowles was known for like... I think she needed like chilled metal straws. Okay. And then like I think she wanted like one color of a M&M or Skittle or something like crazy like that. Just like... I don't know.
Just so we're even, I didn't know what a rider was, but you don't know who Terry Gross is.
I don't know who Terry Gross is.
We're even.
We're even now. Because, you were telling me Terry Gross is the famous interviewer
Of all
on
time.
NPR. Yeah,
Of all time.
How
Yeah.
long has Terry Gross been working for?
For 35 years.
35
She's interviewed
years.
everybody. And she's delicious. She's so good at it. Great
Does she-
voice, sweet, and it's just smart as can be. And God, I just go to sleep to these fresh air interviews. I mean, I don't actually fall asleep, but I turn them on at night,
Yeah.
and it feels so lucky to
Can
hear
you
them.
do
So
like direct podcasts or anything like that? Or does it like.
you can just go right to your podcast and type in Terry Gross. It'll come up like crazy.
Okay.
And just
Yeah.
pick somebody you want to hear from.
Or fresh air.
Yeah.
Fresh air.
Yeah.
It's called Fresh Air is the
Yeah.
name of the
Yeah.
show?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it'll change your
Yeah.
life.
It's on
probably should.
NPR.
I mean, the thing that I'm doing, I probably should learn from the
Yeah,
best, right?
absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I used to
Okay.
like listen to Mark Maron a lot, but
He's good.
he's good.
He's
yeah,
really
he's
good.
throwing in the towel though.
I know that. You know, there's something. It's been a shock to me just how smart comedians are. They're like
Yeah.
they're just crack smart. It's a tough thing, and I love it. The problem, I will tell you, I have Sirius Radio, and I was driving around listening to the Comedy Channel, but God, my language just deteriorated. So suddenly I was just swearing. I mean, I couldn't. I lost the ability to talk without swearing. But I'm just so
You can swear.
impressed with them. Yeah.
You can swear all you want on here.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I think I've heard Diana swear like maybe once.
And it was like, bejesus or something like that.
No,
or-
no. Listen. It's not true.
She told me in the car on our way over here, living in New York in the 70s, and the worst thing that happened to her was a homeless guy asked if she would touch his wahoo.
No. No. Suck my wazoo.
Oh, suck my wazoo.
And
Yeah,
that's
so-
verbatim? You said wazoo or you said something else? I'm not
No,
I'm
no,
listening.
that's
No,
just
it
what
was
he said.
wazoo. So yeah, that's
Wow.
What I was telling him is because I lived in New York City when it was supposedly so dangerous, and I was alone and walking home from the bar every night, like night after night, and loving my life. But nothing. I mean, it was safe as can be. I lived in downtown Los Angeles by myself,
Wow.
and it was really.
At
I
what time-
never had issues.
What time was this when you lived in Los
I
Angeles?
lived in downtown LA from like 70 to 72 in a. Okay, I love buildings, and I just moved into a storefront by myself, and I put in a bathtub, and lived pretty close to USC, like right down there, 38th and Grand, and then I moved to New York City and also got a building and also put in a bathtub. But when I moved to New York, the city was bankrupt, and you could get these lofts and places, and they were empty and cheap, but you had to put in the bathtub.
I bet you now that those lofts go for millions of dollars.
This is an incredible confession. I was able to purchase one,
Oh, really?
and I lived on 72 Broome Street, and it was a cast iron building with like 14-foot ceilings. I had it all. I could have gotten any boyfriend I wanted. Oh my God! But anyway, so it was great. I lived there for like 15, 16 years, and sold it and was able to parlay that into a life that just incredible luck, like radar and great luck, and it was really fun.
I'm sorry, this is like kind of random, but I don't know what a cast iron building is. That sounds really hot.
I know. They were made, there was a certain time, and they were made out of these cast iron columns, and so they look like Corinthian columns. You see them in advertisements all the time because they're right in the middle of Soho. But the problem is when all these artists started moving in, they melted in fires. They originally were sort of built for manufacturing, and actually the building I was in was a cigar factory. And so where they made us cover these gorgeous columns with like 3 layers of drywall when you started doing any repair or anything to them, because they just collapsed and melted.
Yeah, it kind of seems weird to put a cigar
beautiful.
factory in a cast iron building, though.
It was just the way they built these buildings at, I don't know, probably 1880s or something, and that Soho is based on these cast iron buildings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when you see them, they're memorable, and they have these tin ceilings.
So you from? Where are you from? Are you from
Valley.
New York?
No.
You're from the Valley.
I'm from the Valley,
And
and oh my gosh, from the Valley, I couldn't get out fast enough. Like 17 out, and then
Just because you needed to like get away from where you grew up, basically, kind of like the classic.
that.
tale.
Well, no, I never in my life heard anybody say, "Oh, there's something fun. Let's go to the Valley."
I lived in West Hollywood. I wouldn't even hang out with people over
They're
the
from the
hill.
Valley. I
Yeah.
know.
They live over. They're over the hill.
Yeah, no.
It was kind of snobby.
When I got out of the Valley, though, it's such a great memory because I can remember on a Saturday night we would freeway fly from Pasadena to Santa Monica to downtown LA, just art hunting. I'm so art focused, and you could do all that in a night. The traffic thing was not an issue. You would go to all three of those places in a heartbeat. Pick up your friends and do these things. But I have to say, when I lived in downtown LA, as soon as I realized I wanted to be in New York, and not all artists, it was sort of the time when things were happening in California, but I still really felt like I had to be in New York. My hands sweat when I just think about it. I loved it so much. But I was like, I don't know what I was going to tell you about him, but
You're saying that there was like a budding art scene in Los Angeles.
in Los Angeles, yeah, real conceptual art scene. It was really starting to happen, but I had to be. And what I was gonna say is that New York loved artists, so there was this thing where you felt so welcomed, and then to live in a community where everybody was between 25 and 36, and everybody was an artist. There were no children. I mean, it was.
What time was this at?
19, I moved in 1973, and I was there till 90-something, yeah.
Okay. And then you said you couldn't get out of the Valley. Was this like at a younger time? Or?
Oh, I grew up in the Valley. I moved out when I was 17.
And then you moved to New York.
I moved to New York when I was 22, 23.
And you lived there for how long?
18, 20 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Where in New York did you mainly live?
Originally I moved to Tribeca before it was even called. I don't even think they called it Tribeca. But I got a place for $300. I told you I put in a bathtub. And then after 2 years, I had an opportunity to move to a place that was a co-op. And that was this place on Broome Street, which was a full-blown loft. I mean, it was spectacular. It was just like our New York loft that everybody dreams about.
With a bathtub. With this one?
Somebody had already done the work, so it had been modeled for it had a bathroom and a little sleeping loft and stuff. But it was spectacular.
When you had this place with no bathtub, before you had no bathtub, did you like quickly do an install, or what did you do before that?
I don't remember. It happened pretty quickly, but I remember when I later had a boyfriend and I was taking him by and I was showing him this. I said, I used to live in that place. And this guy came out and he was a teacher at USC, a sculpture teacher. His name was Jay Willis. And he stood out in front and he said, I'd invite you in, but my wife's in the bathtub. Which I loved because the bathtub was just in the store. It was like just having a store with there wasn't room in the bathroom to put the bathtub. Did
you tell him you should have your wife be thanking me?
I know. You owe me. I put that bathtub in. Mm-hmm.
So then did you meet your husband then or over there?
In New York City. He was from Texas. Yeah. I was single in New York for, I don't know, 6 or 7 fabulous years. Fabulous years, and I fell in love against my better judgment. That happens, and then we had it was really really swell. I was thinking about this. I've never had dinner with a man, and I started maybe even women either that is not an artist. Like in my life, started really young. So I was very I had a lot to prove, and it was all art all the time. And in the 70s and 80s, you couldn't really go to art events, art parties and stuff if you didn't have an art boyfriend. So you really had to, or an art date, you had to finagle all that just to get into the scene. So it was a very kind of male-dominated.
So what was like the art fascination from the beginning? Did you grow up in art with your family, or what was it?
No. But I knew it was from the age of 5. I was there was never a question about it. I was pretty lucky because my I don't know, my mother in a weak moment got me some art lessons with like an elderly woman or something, but I learned how to mix paint and do some stuff. So when I was in school, junior high and stuff, very quickly, Diana will do the bulletin board. You get Diana to do that, Diana do. So I became like the resident artist as a kid. You know, he'll write the story, you do the pictures. I was always just handle the art part. And thank God it's the last only great hope. Like art and music is like the only reason to live as far as I'm concerned. And it's the only thing I want to talk about. So, you know, I don't want to hang out and talk to anybody. I have one dear friend that's not an artist, but she's an art philosopher. So I was, you know, and that's it for me.
I guess it's like I feel bad for not knowing this, since you we'll get to eventually that you own a whole warehouse full of art, but like I didn't know if you did art. Actually, I thought you were just like a appreciator of art, maybe, but like
no.
So what kind of art do you do?
All the rocks in there. I do I make rocks. I do the spaceships. I do the angry squirrels. I do the angry bowls. I do a lot of ceramics. I wasn't always a ceramic artist. I picked that up about 25 years ago. But clay is really fun. But that's all I think about, and so it's all I dream about. It's all I like. Get my hands in it. And the great thing about having a studio like that is that you're just around art supplies all the time. So, you know, and then you pick up one, and then that makes you think, oh, you know, 1 second later, if I have that color, I have to go do that. I mean, you're just in with the supplies, and stuff happens. And
I was, I've mentioned this to Nick and Shane multiple times, but I passed that building, and you're like, oh, that's intriguing. What's going on in that little lobby? And it's like usually angry squirrels with the suits on or something like that.
Yeah.
And then finally the art crawl takes place, and we go in there, and that's like our first stop. We didn't go into Molinos. We didn't even really know about Ficus. And we didn't move anywhere. We're like, this is the coolest place ever. We didn't want to move. We didn't want to leave. It was just so cool. I'm like, why isn't there more places like this that exist in San Clemente?
Why isn't there more places like this everywhere? It's a sanctuary.
Yeah. To me, it is a sanctuary. I'm sure Nick finds sanctuary in it, and along with Shane and
Dallin.
Dallin, yeah. Yeah, because I one time was driving by, you know, on a random day, and I was on a date, and I saw the door was open, and there you guys were plotting your next art crawl, and I was like, yes, I like seeing that you're just hanging out there, and you're allowing them just to be there all the time. So it was really nice to see those kind of things going on.
I was, when I was in New York, on Reed Street early on, I lived next door, about 2 buildings down. It was something called the Idea Warehouse. And it's such a really fixed on my mind. And actually, great good luck, there were pianos in there, and Philip Glass was young, and he would come and just sit around and play.
Philip
and
Glass, that's a name drop right there.
I know, a name drop. Anyway, and he had little children and little kids that were underneath, and there were like 3 pianos in there, and there were other stuff. But it's cemented in my mind, and so I get to, like, as long as you just keep choosing art, you can wind up with an Idea Warehouse. And then having a storefront, I had no idea how fabulous this would be, but Energy walks in the door. Yeah. Energy, like this guy. And I remember he just walked in, and God, I didn't know your name or anything, and you just said, this is really a cool place. You think we could do something here? Could we, could the band come?
So wait, how did you just think, like, okay, I can just walk into this lady's warehouse and full of art? Obviously it's cool to check out, but.
Yeah, well, it's funny because Diana's in there like every day, and the doors are open
7
and she's
days.
in there. Yeah, and people walk in all the time. Even when I'm there, like, I'll be there working on music alone, and people will walk in, and we have to stop everything we're doing and talk to them. And
that's required because we're art advocates. Even Marco, people that are working there, I said, you got to be nice. If these people come in, show them around, let their kids hit the gong.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny because like you won't be there. I'll be in there with a couple other musicians like at night, and we left the door open and we're like working on something, and then like 5 people walk in and they're just looking around, and so then we have to like stop everything we're doing for 45 minutes and talk to them and show them around. And
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. That's how you get, we're part of a community, get everybody involved and inspire them.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you remember this, but when Shane Hirschman, who organizes the art crawl with us, he was running for city council, and
I love this.
he came in. He needed signatures from residents to be able to run or whatever. And I remember he came in and to get a signature from you, or he walked in. I think he met Marco maybe, and then. Like a week later, he was like, "Hey, you gotta come to this spot, like, and meet these people. I think you'd really like it." And then, so we were in the neighborhood and walked over, and it was open. And yeah, it was always like I've always walked by here and driven by here, but it's been closed, and I've never seen anybody. I've never known what it is. And yeah, that was the first time that I met you. And then you gave me a copy of James's hard copy book.
Yeah.
And then. Yeah, shortly after, I was booking a show at Knuckleheads, and it had gotten double booked by somebody else, and I needed a space to have the show because it was electronics, and it was like really important. I was like, this show has to happen. So yeah, I walked in and I asked you like, hey, can this band play in here? And can I set up a bar and do this and that? And you were down for it, but it was like, you were also like, well, this isn't a music venue. And I was like, I know, but just trust me. Like, I'll take care of it. It'll be good. I'll clean everything up. I'll run it all. Yeah, and then that's how it all started.
I didn't even know him, and he so sincerely, he looks at me and he says, "I'll leave it like I found it. Like, you won't know that we were here." And I just took him at his word, and since then, we've had, what is it now, like 10 or 12 of these things, because we do it the last Thursday of every month, and he's always there, and he tells me, he goes home and lays in bed and goes, "Did I turn off the light, or did I?" Like his word. But there's
like
only
blind
one
trust.
bathroom there. There's just has never been any issues. It has been, it's just been, he makes it so easy, and they take care of everything, and so much fun for me. Like I get to just like show up and have a really great time. I lay out some cheese and crackers and do some stuff, but it's fun, and I like it that it's on a weeknight because it kind of contains it a little bit.
Yeah, people got to go to bed and go to work the next day. Yeah. But yeah,
But he's been triumphant. Like, I mean, just really took care of it, and how great for me.
Yeah. For anybody listening, I don't think we've even said it, but this is called No Joke. Diana's art studio and gallery in the Los Molinos district of San Clemente. And that's where we
just across the street from Los Molinos Brewery.
Yeah, exactly.
Or down the street, I should say.
Yeah. And yeah, it's a sanctuary for artists and, like-minded people, because we don't have any safe spaces for artists and musicians and weirdos really in South Orange County. And that's exactly what it is. So
it's amazing how many people have like met each other because they had the opportunity. They just meet each other from coming there.
Yeah.
And these musicians, San Clemente is a music town. I swear, like there's so many great musicians, and also I've found out if you just buy enough instruments, that helps too, because I've had people come by and say their hands are sweating, they want a drum or something, and so I get to hear that. So I've got the instruments and a marimba and accordions, anything that I can dig up that anybody can play.
Pianos.
So.
Xylophone.
I played the piano.
I come and play big time
Yeah.
piano, but so the people, and they bring their other friends that are musicians and so on. So, they just wind up meeting each other and connecting, and that's great for me.
Yeah, well, that's the whole point of the art crawl is, there's so many interesting, like-minded people that live around here. We don't know each other, and we are in separate groups, and kind of No Joke, and the art crawl acts as kind of the home base for everybody, where everybody can meet and inspire each other.
Free.
Yeah, absolutely.
Everything's
free. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's which is important to me.
Yeah, I'm gonna get worried. I get worried that like one day it might get so big that you might start charging, or you might have to, because you want to limit the amount of people you have. Like, I mean, wouldn't that be a fun problem to have, right? Because you have so many people coming, you have to limit the space.
I don't think people want to go if it's too crowded. Like, it finds its own. And also there's no, depending on the social media of the band, it's sort of a a different group. There seems to be a solid art crawl group that comes no matter what, but it can have a completely different personality depending on the band and who they connected with. And,
Well, yeah.
But everybody seems so surprised when they walked in.
Absolutely. Well, I think also because every single one is different. Like
Yeah.
I'm surprised by every single one because every single one is different than the last.
Yeah.
You know, and it is depending on the band or the artist, and yeah.
That last one was definitely different, given the fact that it was a political thing going on, and then also the fact that there was just jazz playing, and I tend to kind of like that. It has like a mellow vibe to it for me.
Yeah.
You know, Randall
that I appreciate.
is this great musician, and I kind of asked him because I mean he has a great set, great jazz musicians, but I said, you know, do some experimental stuff, or try stuff that you wouldn't ordinarily try, and then suddenly these guys, and what was it? It's not a clarinet. It was a
Was it a saxophone?
saxophone. Anyway, he started doing this Chet Baker and My Funny Valentine. People went crazy. Like it really sounded sweet, which was very different from any of the other stuff that had been going on there.
That was all sort
He
of.
had fun.
Yeah, he told me. Yeah. I'm happy to have him back soon.
Yeah.
But that kind of all happened because we needed a break. Like me and Shane and Talon, we just had a really busy month. I've been like transitioning jobs, and Shane has been transitioning jobs, and we were like, Bandit, the artist, wanted to take over Ficus, the whole space. So we were like, okay, you just take over that and do that. We don't have to do any work. And then that's why I got the jazz bands, because they're self-sufficient. I don't need to do sound for them or bring equipment for them. They've got it on lock. So we just stick them in their places, and everybody kind of does it. And we just got to like stand back and not really do anything.
Yeah,
So,
it was nice.
but yeah, it worked out because it was like more mellow and easy going. And
I dug the mellow vibe. It definitely kind of does change the atmosphere for sure.
Yeah, because sometimes it feels like a big block party.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, that one punk show that we had at Ficus was I love it, and it's more designed for Ficus because it's more open space. But at No Joke, you can't do punk, a punk band and moshing, and because I remember, wasn't it like the first time you didn't, before Art Crawl, right? You had a show, you presented, let's have a show here, and you had like 150 people show up or something. How nervous were you when that took place?
I just wait and see, but I did. It was more recently where we had a punk band there, and I ejected. I grabbed a couple of kids by their collar.
You grab them by the ear.
I know. And he looked at me and he goes, "It's a punk concert," and I said, "It's an art studio, and it's mine."
We're still learning. This is still a learning process for us.
Just because they start them out, and I thought all I could just see is cracked skull on the cement.
As an apology, the next band I had was kind of like a country rock and roll twangy band.
I don't remember the country one.
Yeah, it was the Sea Monks. Yeah, they do like rock and roll country kind of stuff.
Rockabilly.
It's like a mix, like just Americana blues bass music.
Is the Lunch Ladies gonna be back for Halloween?
I wish, but
he's got the wigs.
He's still got the outfits.
Yeah, I don't. Maybe I'll surprise you guys. I'm not planning on doing it just because, I don't know, I've been so busy. I've got a lot going on, and I have to learn a whole set. But, I don't know. I'm still figuring it out.
Yeah. Is there any, do you have anything planned for the Halloween one? I feel like I'm looking forward to that one most of all because it's so befitting of, the scene there.
Yeah, we have a few things planned. They're all kind of up in the air right now.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But, September this month is going to be great because it's our year anniversary. And we've got a lot planned for that.
We've been to every one. Me and Kevin, I know, have been to every one.
Yeah. Yeah, the music especially is going to be great. We're going to have Latronics back, which, is Diana's favorite.
September?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
He's
so good.
Yeah, and that's the group. He's the guy that started my relationship with Diana. That was the first show that I put on.
Oh, that was the first one. Okay.
Yeah, when I was like, hey, can I have this guy play? And I think what helped me was when Diana saw Latronics, she loved him, in the music. And so that gave me, I think, a little trust. Like, okay, this guy has some taste and he knows what he's doing.
No, he can work a crowd. It was amazing to watch him. It was magic. And And then I was real happy that he wanted to come back. It's a venue that he likes a lot. So, and he's been to Berlin.
It's so it feels like I mean, we've said this before, but it's like a kind of like a NPR Tiny Desk feel. Like you have like this cool backdrop of art, and you kind of have to be careful because you can't just be moving around much. You're kind of limited on the space. Well, there's good enough space, but you don't want to like, you got to kind of tread lightly on what's surrounding you. So, I mean, that's something that I find that I appreciate very much.
Yeah, it gives it that DIY feel, which is always fun. It's not your traditional concert venue.
Yes.
You know, and it makes the audience feel a part of it, you know?
Yep.
I feel like I captured a lot of these people. They come for the music and they kind of get stuck with the art, and you sort of have to, like, it's not art that they might have sought out or anything, but there's a lot of it in there. And
I mean, the music's art too.
That too, of course.
Yeah.
But I mean, the visual art, they get, they have to deal
visual
with
art,
it. And we did the show for electronics was there a couple months ago, and we did I love the show that we put in there for that, and I just took it down yesterday, and it's all politics now. So I'm not going to say anything more about it, but it's packing a punch now as of last night.
Bandits moved some of his stuff into the front gallery from the previous Art Crawl show.
Oh.
So, yeah.
Wasn't happy about the Ukraine stuff, or?
What? Oh, no, that was just for one night.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
How did the movie go for everybody? Was that like everyone having to sit down and watch a documentary? Did that go well for everybody?
Great. It was so. It was so much better. I mean, I expected it to be good because these guys are solid. They went to Ukraine. I mean, it's tough. They had some Ukrainian editors that were like unbelievably great. He told me they but that they don't speak English, but the humor was so spot on, and they were great editors. So they wound up with a solid, good, like festival level film. Like it's really a good film. And then when they were talking afterwards, they were just so poignant and sort of, talking about how rough it was to be there, and the Ukrainian woman who was just wonderful that sort of massaged it for them over there and got them transportation and stuff. It was very moving. People really appreciated it, and so I was happy for them. It was, they pulled it off.
I want to like take time and sit down to watch it.
Yeah.
During the event, for me, it was kind of hard because we also had to get up early for the next day.
Yeah.
For a birthday thing, and but I would like to. Is there a place we can watch this?
Yeah, you can talk to him. He gave
Is it on a website somewhere?
Yeah, he gave the website to a friend of ours that wasn't there. Like he said, just go home and watch it. So, which is really not a great idea if you're trying to get a film distributed or something, is to let it free flow out there. But it's just important subject matter. The piece that he brought over, I wasn't going to say, but the piece that he brought over for the gallery in the front of the building is this. I'm not going to say. You got to come see.
Oh, what a tease!
Yeah, I know. It's art. It's a really. I'm really happy for him, and it looks great. And we set it up as sort of a tableau, so it has a kind of the art, and then this little living room with like a lamp and a painting on the wall and an old TV. And we were going to just put cartoons on it, but if we could like transfer his film to this old TV, we might be able to just run it around the clock. And so it would just be Ukrainian images. And then he put a couple missiles on the. You have to see it, but I'm excited for it and happy for them, happy for me.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen Tristan around. Especially he works. Yeah, he used to work at what's the bar?
Turks.
He works at Turks now, but he used to work at that bar down the street right off Pico, Landers.
Yeah.
He used to work there. That's how I first knew him. And then he was working at Turks, and I'm just like, you see him around, and then you're like, oh, he's doing this. That's pretty cool. I'm like, you never know. You never know who is working on something like this.
You never know. You never know.
You never know
until you ask. I've just been over and over just so impressed with the focus and the commitment that people are making to their projects. They don't underestimate anybody like.
Yeah, I agree.
Like you with this.
I mean, yeah, this is. I mean, I'm the one. I'm not like an artiste where it comes to like doing like what my mother did, or like what Nick does in music, or graphic art, or what art you've done in the past. Like, I am just more of an appreciator of art. But I guess everything is art, right?
Yeah, I think this could be. This is like what I call like my graphic design. Like it's more like a craft, you know. This is like similar to that, you know.
But
or like
if you,
cooking.
But if you're creative,
Cooking's
you
art.
twist it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
In fact, a lot of times I recommend like these. So many of these artists, they're resentful about thinking that that they have to get a job. But like electronics, wasn't he a vitamin guy? And look what he did with vitamins.
Yeah.
I know. You take your job. You take your job, and then you're a really creative person, and you figure out how to tweak it and twist it, and make your whatever it is you're doing in the world, and make it art.
So wait, so he was actually a pharmaceutical
That's
guy?
what they told me.
Well, not he.
That's
I don't
pretty
know
cool,
if he
so.
still does, but forever he worked in the vitamin department at Mother's Market.
Okay.
Yeah.
And he
So-
uses all that pill imagery
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
capsules
Yeah,
and all that
exactly.
stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
I listened to that album like the next day. I had to. It was so good. And you can listen to it all the way through.
Yeah.
yeah.
So like a whole entire like concept album.
Yeah, exactly.
He's so good. I would like to see that guy again, but I get to see him for free at Art Crawl, which is I always look forward to every.
Yeah.
I always take the Friday off after always.
That's what you guys tell me too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never do. I always go to work the next morning.
Oh, you have work in the morning
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Not anymore though. Friday was my
shifted.
last day.
What do you don't want to talk about that, or what was the last
it's
day?
not. I was just doing graphic design
Oh,
for
okay.
a local sticker company. Yeah,
That's
yeah,
right. I remember.
Yeah.
Going back to this Philip Glass, where was this all happening? Because my first time I ever became a fan of him was Kundin, the movie,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Kunda. Yeah. The Chinese.
all about the Dalai Lama.
Oh, the Dalai Lama. Right.
Yeah.
Right.
It's Martin Scorsese that directed. Yeah,
It's so great. Oh, I this is the drumbeat of my life. Like plus he was so gorgeous.
Oh yeah, I don't even know what he looks like. So he's just like a pretty
It's
man.
tough. I know, because he's as old as I am now. But really, he was so. I mean, he was it's really fun. But I was able to go, and he had a 6-hour thing at Lincoln Center while I lived in New York. Einstein on the Beach, which was it was a 6-hour opera, and with Robert Wilson, who just recently died, did the stage sets and everything. It was such a breakout experience. And so I saw Akhenaten. I saw all of the operas that he's done, and I ask Alexa at night, play me Glassworks so I can go to sleep. And so I've always been a big fan of Philip Glass.
Yeah, he's always like on my release radar on Spotify. He always pops up on my playlists because of like new music that's come out, and he's one of them that shows up.
Yeah.
And I'll have like house, I'll have heavy rock, I'll have hip hop,
Yeah.
and then I'll have Philip Glass show up.
Nice. Everybody asked me, because I lived in New York at the time, and they said, "Didn't you go to CBGB's and da da da?" And I was fully aware of it, and I remember going to the Mud Club, and there were other clubs, but I just didn't. I don't know the life I was living, although it was a bar life, and we were doing music and every night. I didn't get that Lower East Side thing. I did see Patti Smith a bunch and some stuff she did at some church in the Lower East Side, but I missed that, and so I sort of for me it was Philip Glass and Charlemagne Palestine, and these more avant-garde musicians at the time meant a lot to me. So.
And where was he at? Where was this, like at a place where artists come to meet again?
The Idea Warehouse was on Reed Street, and it was quiet. Like there weren't, I remember sitting in there, and there might be, he would be playing, there'd be the 3 pianos. He would also play at piano stores. Like he would let you know, and you could go and go to a piano store in New York City, and he would get his friends to play on different pianos. But this was, it was just Tribeca, 3rd floor of a loft, and just go hang out. Pretty great.
Yeah, we need why doesn't Laguna have a place like that? Is there?
Why not? I know. If you get an empty space and put instruments in it, this should be, every community should have this.
Yes.
For, like they've got the Boys and Girls Club right there. Why isn't there a building of
Art.
There is a guy.
Should be city funded.
Biff. There is a guy real close to us. He comes to the art walks. real sweetheart. He teaches after school to high school kids. They come. He's got instruments, and he's a real advocate, real enthusiast. And I've had parents come in there and they say, "Thank God that their kids love it," and they go ride their bikes there or whatever after school. So it's a thing. It should just be much more of a thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
What did you do in music, like in high school and stuff? Like you just started making your own bands and stuff?
Yeah, well, I wanted to learn piano when I was a kid. I had a piano teacher play Vince Guaraldi for me, the Peanuts theme song, and I had like the biggest smile on my face, and I thought it was the coolest thing I've ever seen.
I love it.
And so I was like, I want to do that. Yeah. And then, I moved on to violin in like 4th grade, and then 5th grade, I had a friend who played the drums in the concert band. Yeah. And I wanted to hang out with him, so I was like, yeah, I'll play the drums too. And then it was just drums ever since then. Yeah. So, yeah, high school, I did marching band, drumline, concert band, wind ensemble, jazz band. Yeah.
I'm never happier than when somebody comes and starts playing the drums in that space.
It's not an easy one.
It's just hitting things, really.
Well, that's how I view it, but I'm like, no, it's not as like I've experienced, where I had a buddy where he did he's like a drum hall. He's all about drums. He calls it drum hall. It's Tatum's brother, and they have like all these guys that have decades of experience just drumming, and he kind of had me participate in it, but I was just in the back holding like a tambourine.
Oh yeah.
And that's even hard just to keep the beat.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't come naturally to me.
Yeah. So wait, did you but when you learned the piano, did you keep learning the piano actively, or did you just focus on drums?
I just focused on drums after that. I always grew up having like a piano in the house or an organ, and then when I got into my teenage years, it was synthesizers. But yeah, I think, I talk to my mom about it all the time because I'm really still upset about it, but she pulled me out of piano lessons when I was a kid just because I didn't practice all the time, and she thought I wasn't that interested in it. And I'm just like, why would you ever pull me out of piano lessons?
What made her think that you weren't interested? Was it?
I think because I didn't practice, a lot, and I didn't put all my time into it really. But as a kid, I wanted to play outside and
you want to do a lot of
friends.
things.
Parents do a really strange thing. I was raised thinking I was lazy. They told me all the time, "Oh, you're so lazy. You're so lazy." And I realized they just tell you that you're lazy when you're not doing what they want you to do. Yeah. I'm just didn't turn out to be a lazy person. Yeah. But it's such a racket where they, it's they want you to do what they want,
Yeah. Well, I mean, if I ever have kids, I'm probably going to traumatize them because I'm going to force them to do 10 years of classical piano and then 8 years of jazz piano after that.
And all they're going to want to do is study math or something like that.
Yeah, and then when they're 18, they can choose what instrument they want to move on after that. Yeah.
My daughter, who's wonderful, my husband and I were very committed to this art life, and we've basically never left the house that it wasn't for art galleries, art museums, art. That's all we talked about. That's all we did. The art store, buying more art supplies, art. And she, at some point, she told me that she wanted to go to law school.
Boring.
and then she told me, and I said something, and she said, "Why would I take advice from people that majored in coloring?" But anyway, so you can't, you have to,
That's why I'm saying they're probably going to be traumatized.
Go to law school.
So what led to you deciding on the name No Joke?
I'll tell you exactly. I have this same daughter has 3 baby boys, and a 2-year-old. They drove down or something, and a 2-year-old, he was 2, and I said something to him, and he just looked up at me. He says, "You're not." He said, "You're joking," he says, "I'm not joking." And I was so struck at how a 2-year-old would know what a joke even was. And that was the day because it's actually called Donaldson Hill Arts. Yeah. And but when he said that a 2-year-old would know about a joke, it meant so much to me. So that day I called it No Joke. And I've gotten a lot of flack for it because the people that work there think it's a sorry name.
It's not serious enough.
Yeah, but it's Anyway, no
I
joke.
think it's great. I love it.
Yeah, I
I'm
think
glad to
that's-
hear that because, like one of them even said, I don't even want to see it on the advertising or anything.
Well, it's like you don't want to take life so seriously
Yeah.
in a way, but like I also do find it fascinating when you see a kid act above their age.
These three, I just saw them. My daughter took all three of these boys to, she and her husband, they just got back from Korea and Japan and China with 3 infants, like 1, 3, and 5. And I talked to the 5-year-old, I said, oh my gosh, tell me something about it. And he goes, the flights were terrifying. Say we didn't land until 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was so scary. And that was the only
Vietnam,
report.
and that's what
That was the report I got. I asked my daughter to send me a picture in Korea, and she sent a picture of them on an escalator, and I could see in the background it said Kirkland. They were at Costco in Korea. There you go.
Like him with the Peanuts song. Was there a moment, a piece of art that like struck you? You were like 5 or 6 or 10 or whatever that like just hit you. That you're like, okay, this is my life.
All the time.
Do you remember
I mean,
an initial,
okay,
the earliest
it's
one?
funny that you say that because whenever anybody comes, I always say, well, who was your gateway artist?
Yeah.
And because the people in art, they always know at the moment. And when I was a kid, I remember talking my parents into buying this thing, and you had to pay $6.95 a month or something. But I got that series of art books in the mail, and Van Gogh. Excuse me, they sent them in the mail. It was like a subscription or something. I just memorized those things. They were just like I could turn to every page and figure out stuff. But I think the first piece of art that I purchased was an Ad Reinhardt. And I got it at a gallery in La Cienega in Los Angeles, and it was $110, and I paid $10 a month, and I sent her a check for it. But but I have a moment that I'm going to tell you that happened when I was about 5. I used to do a lot of mud pies. I was an only child at the time. My parents had another. My sister, when I was 14, everybody thought she was mine. Anyway, but I was raised as an only child, and I had a grandmother that set me up with a kind of a plank and some Folgers or some old coffee cans or something, and I would just mix mud and get it real smooth. And I remember walking up to their back steps and just saying, I need 2 eggs. And she didn't flinch. She just walked over to the refrigerator and just walked over and handed me the eggs, and she walked in the other direction. And I can remember the sensation of cracking those eggs in that mud, knowing I can do anything. Watch me.
So what exactly is a mud pie? It's like, I thought,
It's just
I'm
you
looking it up,
mix
it's like a
mud.
dessert.
No, a mud pie is dirt. You're a kid and you're playing in the mud.
Okay. Because
You-
then
no,
you're saying
you're doing
eggs. I'm
dirt.
like, you're mixing eggs
Well,
with
that
the...
was the thing. I was making dirt. I was, 5. I was making dirt and stirring it with spoons as hard as I could, trying to get all the lumps out.
Yeah.
Just to make it smooth, and then I just thought, and I just walked. And she was so casual about it that she never said, I can't put eggs in the mud, But just the fact that she gave them to me, it was such an empowering moment. It's kind of I felt it was a huge confidence boost.
Do you have, was your family all into art, or was it just you?
No, not particularly reading, not particularly, and no art. No, my parents, in fact, were very young. They were like 20 when I was born. My dad was a Marine Air Corps pilot. He was one of those World War II guys alone in a bomber or something. And my mother worked, which was sort of unusual at the time, and so and they were very young, and sort of was saved by grandparents. Like I had two very, really, really wonderful grandparents.
Oh, so like you were saved as in like...
they just unconditional, no, my parents were busy and they were very young, probably too young to, and it was a different time.
Yeah.
But I was really lucky because I was dropped off at my grandparents' houses at 7 in the morning and picked up at 6 at night. So, and one grandparent for 4 days and another grandmother for another 2 days. So then they were just angels. And I'd like to be that kind of grandmother, but I'm too far away from my 3 little kids.
Where are they at?
In the valley. Don't even ask.
Oh, not back at the
I know,
valley.
that's what I say. That's what I say. It's inconceivable. They're going to hear this. I know.
I hope you share this.
They know.
Did you also grow up with family that was into art, or did your mom or dad encourage you to get into? I mean,
Not at all. Nobody in my family is an artist or musician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
God, well, and then she made you leave piano lessons, but
Yeah, I don't think I left kicking and screaming.
Yeah, I mean,
don't
you're a
think I
kid
was
again,
dying
yeah.
to, like, go back to piano lessons. But I don't know what it was. I was.
Well,
My
wait.
family always says, "Oh, Nick's the creative one of the family."
Yeah, that kind of happens.
I don't know where it came from or.
how did you come across James Hill in New York? Like, how did?
I was lucky. I was lucky in love. James actually he's a Texas artist, a crazy good artist. And he was he was up in New York because he was in a fabulous show called the Whitney Biennial, which is a big deal. And so that's a show that the Whitney has once a year with sort of up-and-coming artists. And so he had some flair. He was kind of up there. And I had this great loft.
The loft.
It was the
with
loft,
the bathtub.
the magic of the loft. No. Anyways, so and so it was. I was crazy lucky.
And this is the time though you didn't want to be settling down, and you're having too much fun. In New
All
York.
that was true, but
Things happen.
yeah.
So you escape LA, you moved to New York, you're there for like 15 years, you said? Or how long?
About 19 years. And every single job was art, well, except for one short job. I don't have a big job history, by the way, but everything I did, I worked for artists, and I actually worked for kind of a big-time celebrity artist, which meant that I commuted to Greenwich, Connecticut from New York.
Are you able to say who?
I will, do people even know anymore? His name is Robert Motherwell. He was a big-time sort of abstract expressionist, and every museum in the world has a bunch of his stuff. But and that was an opportunity to be around an artist, because he used to have lunch with us every day. He had a full-time framer, the guy that just made frames. He had an archivist, a woman named Joan Bannock, who and her husband was an art dealer. And then Catherine Mosley is a master printmaker, and I worked in his print studio. He had a print studio, he had a painting studio, he lived in an estate that was designed by Frederick Olmsted, who also did Central Park.
Oh, wow.
It was, I know, it was sweet. And so I had that commute time and got out of New York and went up there, and I worked for him for about 15 years, but just sitting around and every lunch, and all the people that he knew, and all the kind of art critics and issues and books, and he was very generous with us. But it was sort of an old guy talking to young people. He needed these young people around him. Cut to me now. This is a little sad, but my husband got dementia. So the studio, warehouse as you call it, the studio, I mean, he made art every day till the last day he was alive. He was just still paintbrushes, making art, making messes. And I was kind of good at this. I thought, I'm going to have an art camp for old guys. Like, I should, send me more of these. I'm good at this, and maybe I should, have the dementia art school here in this building. And then he, I think of his own will, he died very quickly and very easily. And then I thought, now what? And then all of a sudden, all these gorgeous guys start coming in. So now I got an art camp for kids. And Sophia Hefter-Smith came, and she came while James was still alive. And she just said, I just want to be here. I just want to work here. And I, at first, thought, well, do I need a kid? And she showed me her work on her phone. Come on, anything. And and she worked there for 4 years, just all the time. And she was 18, and so now it's
Amazing artist. I saw that
Yeah.
she just did a collaboration with Toy Machine, the
Yeah.
skateboarding company, and made that skateboard design. It
she's
was-
so great.
Yeah, I know.
She's really.
Let's
really
check out
good.
what Sophia.
Sophia Hefter Smith.
Is it a F or PH?
Hefter Smith.
Oh, there it is. Hefter Smith.
Yeah, and she does sexy art, but brave. Oh my gosh, powerful artist.
Are we able to show it here?
Sure.
Well, it's
Oh, look at all this. Oh, that's the green chair at the building. These are all at the building. What is this?
I just Google imaged Sophia Hefter Smith.
Yeah, these are all pictures of her at the building. God, that's her when she was really young. But she, show me a painting. I've got a bunch of her painting at the.
What's a good one here? Do you see anything that you've seen before?
Oh, I've seen them all. Let me think.
Go down.
Yeah, I don't know. Down is older, right?
It's just all
Yeah.
random.
Yeah.
There's some of the sexy art I'm seeing.
Okay. I don't.
Did she ever come to the? I think didn't I meet her at the art crawl once?
Probably.
Yeah.
She, I wish she came to more of them. She moved to. I can tell you, this is the other thing. Like, I don't know if you can just tell how good she is, but she.
Her
I can
Instagram's got a lot of all of her stuff.
Yeah. She.
Let me s-
I pumped up New York so much, and she moved to New York. I was so happy for her. She called me up. It's not like you said. There's so many artists. I can't get a job. It's really hard. This is a painting that I just zoomed this one. I just bought this painting for her.
Which one?
That one right.
This
no,
one?
over one. Where was it?
Hold on 1 second. Over here.
No. Yeah, see
Yeah.
that one. Just click that. See that picture of that
Yeah.
woman screaming with a bird on her head?
See if we can get that image. It's going to the Instagram.
Oh, yeah, that's her show. She had a show at Gallery
Central Server Works.
Central Server, yeah. Yeah.
there it
That
is.
painting right there, it's mine.
I own it.
I know, I do. Look at that thing. No, I always told her I like art with
Oh my
teeth. I
God.
like art with teeth.
That is quite the image there.
Yeah, it's a beautiful painting.
Well, yeah, a lot of our pieces are just like slightly uncomfortable and a little grotesque in a way, you know.
This
which
is a
is
magazine
great.
zine that she just did.
Yeah, you've got a
about
copy of that
this
too.
one, yeah. Look at this.
Flesh World, is that
Yeah. There she goes.
Is there any
Good.
pornographic we're gonna see? Well, I do it for adults anyways for this show, so
Yeah.
I'm not pandering. I'm not.
that a
My
twin-
demographic's not
Anyway.
kids.
is that a Twin Peaks reference? Flesh World? That was
I
the
don't know.
name of the magazine.
That's another artist. This artist, she did it with, there were two artists, and this is her friend. That's not Sophia's.
Interesting.
Yeah. She likes breasts. So this is a nice painting too. It's just a car with a window. Like, look at that. I mean, it's a beautiful. They're
I like the
beautiful paintings.
reflection on the car here. You can see.
Yeah. Yeah, she's got it. She's an it girl.
Have you heard of this guy named Paul Kenton?
No.
I'm going to show you him really quick. I have like a
You're
list.
good.
I had like a list of artists that I wanted to maybe show you, but we'll do this one. Paul Kenton. He really does he does cityscapes in New York really well,
Yeah.
and he really does reflections on the street, like it's been raining.
Oh yeah, I've seen this guy. Yeah.
Let's see if we can
wow.
get one. Let's maybe just do his like most viewed one or liked one. So he'll like demonstrate all the stuff he's he basically starts like this, but
Yeah.
I would love to get a painting like his.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah. It's like I just with me and art, I'm like, where do you get the vision in your head where that's what you want in the end? Like, where's the start to the to the end? I never understand that.
This is such a topic. Oh, Dallyn's going to kill me. There's a wonderful artist that works in the building, and we have the same conversation over and over because the way he's wired is that he can paint anything. So the creativity comes when you decide what to paint. But he wants to flow. He wants to make he wants to have this another kind of experience where you're not just painting. Oh, look at that, yeah. Where you're not
See
just
the reflection in the street.
Sure, yeah, yeah.
What were you saying?
So that you're, a kind of I'm going to say a Picasso experience where
Yeah.
this stroke means this next stroke. And then it's like you're not predetermined, like you don't know what it's going to look like before. But it's a completely different painting experience.
Yeah.
And you figure out where your jolt of creativity is. Is it selecting what you're going to do, or is it having the experience while you're in it? Like music, probably a musician. Like you could, what you want something to sound, and you can play that, or you could have a jazz experience where you don't know how it's going to sound.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I always have an idea in my head, and then, most often than not, it turns out to be completely different.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
There's another guy.
These are slick.
Yeah, I like those. I mean, they're big pieces.
Yeah.
Like that piece that I have in there, I had to get another car, like a truck, to help move that because I couldn't fit it in my Kia. It was too big. Here's another guy I really like. So what he does is really interesting, where he burns or like pulls, like it'll just be a little thing. So he like pulls the strings off, or
Yeah. That's tricky. Yeah.
I thought this was really cool art.
Yeah. I love that. I love the idea of stencils and pulling that stuff off. It's fun to do in ceramics because you can do that on clay.
Yeah.
Like you can do all this stuff
Yeah.
between you and the glaze. Yeah.
Yeah, this guy has it's like it's all extravagant basically. He's got one where like Jesus is
Yeah.
thorns are burning. Let's see if I can get
This
there.
is very male.
This is male driven. So like he does this, and then that like creates the art itself right here.
Yeah. You like a trick. You want to show.
I guess I like the trick. I guess it's a fun trick to watch. There's another guy. Let's see. He's kind of it's kind of haunting and kind of like creepy, but it's all pencils.
Have me back sometime, and I'll give you an art show. I mean, I'll pick the artists.
Well, do you have any that
No.
we could look up that would that today you think that are
contemporary.
this guy? He does pencil art basically.
Yeah.
It's creepy, but
Yeah.
like it's quite good.
Yeah. I type in William Kentridge.
William Kentridge. Do you think he'd be on Instagram?
Yeah, I think so. Or even just
Is it?
WIL, William and then KENTRIDGE.
William Kentridge Studio.
Yeah.
So he does big design.
Yeah, but no, this is weird. Yeah, but this is sort of strange. He does film. Like, do you have any of the reels? I don't know. Just
Oh, go up. Okay, reels.
I don't know. Something more interesting than this. Yeah, he's really a good artist. South African artist.
Save the African. That's my attempted.
I'm sorry, this is not happening.
Oh, you don't see.
Maybe are any of them films? Go to the videos.
This is supposed to be the reels. I'm just gonna click on one and see what happens. No, it's just.
Okay, do this. This is him.
Should we hear him?
Yeah, sure.
And missing, with the idea at the tip of your tongue, the idea about to form itself. And while waiting for this revelation, while waiting another coffee pot, another peony, the 473rd rhinoceros, all of this. And then to what end? Not to do good, not to transform the world, I hope. Absolutely not. You know me well enough to know that is not a possibility.
It's only one guy.
Well,
so.
Yeah.
to hold a mirror to nature, a mirror is a very unreliable witness. Because you can't not work? No, you yourself know the pleasures of sitting on a sofa in front of the TV watching time pass. I prefer the cricket. I prefer the endless repetition of the hourly news. I prefer the morning cup of tea.
See, I can watch this forever.
I prefer the afternoon siesta. Well then,
But who knows? I mean,
He's he's definitely a character
Yes,
and has like
vanity.
that artist
What does
look
that
for
mean?
sure. Yeah, that's interesting.
well, anyway, save it. But I mean, if I knew when I do, next time I'll pick
follow.
you up.
Follow shit out of that guy.
Yeah, he's great. He's
So-
one guy that makes you think like, why bother?
So what? So from New York, you're now your late husband passes in New York, right?
No,
Oh.
we lived at the second act was here in San Clemente.
Oh, so what made you decide to move here?
I thought we had this little girl. I thought she needed a yard. Kids thrive in New York City, but I was, I guess the whole massive kind of art experience that we were like trying to figure out how to be really good parents and And my husband is just a fantastic artist, and he had a good career in New York, but he was not a hustler by nature. And he was like, he definitely did not want to go back to Texas. And we had such a public life in New York, and there were people there all the time. Because I had this loft, I had friends that would come from LA because they knew somebody in New York, so there was always people staying there. And so, I thought, well, the opposite of this is we could just move, because we were property rich at that point, because this loft was starting to be worth more.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought we could, live in Encinitas and go naked in the backyard, and our lives
Black's
could be
Beach.
our lives could be really kind of adorable, and our kid could play in the. She never did play outside, but the problem is once you leave New York, it's hard to go back. I always thought we'd go back, and but you get too much stuff. My thing is an art hoarder and art supplies and this massive collection of James Hill work, a massive collection of Diana Donaldson work. It's just it's ridiculous.
And how did you? Was it? When did you move there? Like, at what time did you move down to and get that
In San
gallery?
Clemente.
The warehouse.
Oh, so we built studios. I have a nice San Clemente house, and I was sort of getting used to it. I mean. And we were able to build art studios in the back of the house. So we both had separate art studios. Fantasy was that the wheelchair would. Did I do something?
You're good. You're good.
The fantasy was that the wheelchairs would just go back and forth between the two art studios, because I had a ceramic studio and James had his painting studio, and the caregiver could just live in the house or something. We could live forever like that. But then James was just getting buried back there. And there is a thing, we often thought about maybe getting a studio in El Segundo or something, because we were going to LA a lot. And it's if you're, seriously, when you ask curators to come to look at, you don't want to bring them to your house. You want to bring them to your studio.
And for context, this was like 92, 93, right?
That's when we moved here.
Yeah.
But I bought the building about 13 years ago.
Right, right. That was later.
And
So you bought the building. You didn't build the building.
No, that building that's an old building from the 50s.
Oh,
That's on
okay.
Los Molinos.
Okay.
We had art studios in the house, but I felt like James was just getting buried back there. We wanted to be more serious, and I always had that community. I mean, that area is golden. It's like mixed use, like.
I love that area.
I mean, I had my eye on it the whole time we've lived there, and then it was just an opportunity. We were down there looking for a place to rent. And there was just a for sale sign on the building. It was a huge leap of faith. And at the time, my husband he was always dyslexic, so he was always pretty bad with numbers. But somehow he thought that the building was $500.
It's a steal. You gotta get on this now.
Anyway, but as soon as we walked into it, it was empty. That space was empty. We walked into it. It just melted. Such a building fanatic, yeah.
Without even a thought, we're like, we have to get this place.
Yeah. And there was no rhyme or reason to think that we could afford it or anything. And James didn't know, because he thought it was $500. And so I was like.
Would you say that was one of the biggest risks you've taken in your life?
I'm a big risk taker. And my biggest risk was probably getting on a plane and flying to New York with $300 in 1972.
My mom did the same thing. She moved to New York, and I think she did it for like 2 weeks, because she was an artist.
Yeah.
And I forget what happened, but I think she only did it for a couple weeks and then moved back or something. I forget exactly. I would have to ask my dad about that.
When I look back, I feel like Christopher Columbus. Like, what was I thinking that I could just do that? But I was so sure. I also was sure I was painting masterpieces, which is a weird concept. Like, in my little mind, I'm painting this stuff. I go, oh, museum worthy. Well,
when you're doing art, you kind of have to have like a little sense of delusion.
You do. Yeah.
You kind of have.
I own it. I got so much delusion.
Not to say that your art's not good, but you still have to have like this thought that I am the greatest artist on earth, and
or it's coming. This idea that, and it just to be in it's magic. I'm just I'm so glad. I feel so lucky that I get to think about art when the world is like collapsing.
Yeah.
It's all hope. It's just hope. Yeah. It's, hope.
Yeah.
Get something inside your brain out, it's up in there and you're going to put it in the world and you get to leave it.
So you say the greatest, any other risk you've taken? You say you've taken a bunch.
I think marriage is a crazy risk. I had this sensation, because I don't know what we were thinking about, why we thought we needed to get married. But in fact, it was funny because when I first met James, he asked me to marry him like constantly. And I thought it was a joke. What a joke.
And he's like, no joke.
No, every day, every time we were talking to get me on, and then suddenly he stopped asking me. And after 6 months of asking me all the time, let's get married, and then and we stopped. And I thought, oh my God, he stopped asking me. And I said, you still want to get married? And also we got married. It was a potluck. We got married in the loft. No money expended. Just friends brought over stuff. Got crazy drunk. It was a thing of beauty. It was my wedding. It was my favorite wedding of all time. Got married in black. But
You got married in black?
Oh
Nice.
yeah. But
My brother just got married. The bride was all dressed in black.
Yeah, it's the only thing to do. But I was telling you this for a reason. So, what did you just ask me about James?
I think like how you've
Risk.
the
I was
risk
gonna tell
with
you.
marriage.
Yeah,
and-
there's this thing. I don't know what people think about when they get married, but before you get married, if you are delusional, you think anything can happen. You're going to live on a Greek island, or this can happen, or this can happen. But when you actually marry somebody, it's like, oh, God, are they afraid of, does he fear God? I don't know. You marry yourself in a funny way. Like, it puts a lid on all the drama that you think. So that's what I thought. In fact, I'd gotten this great therapist in New York because it was free, and he was some sort of Freudian therapist. He worked at NYU, and I filled out an application, so I was getting free analysis. And I remember he said, you thought you were going to hitch your wagon to a star, but you hitched your wagon to another wagon.
It's like Oregon Trail.
Anyways, but that's his thing. I think getting married is an incredible risk. And you're
It's a gamble,
very
for sure.
aware of it. When you just choose somebody, like it's pretty wild.
You're your basic forever person.
Yeah, and it puts a lid on, because
Yeah.
very often, they're not dramatically different from you in
How-
terms of
How long were you married for?
39 plus,
Oh, wow.
almost 40 years, and they were, oh my God, I married the right guy. I'm going to tell you two things about him. One thing is he never told the same story twice.
Oh, wow.
Fact. He told a lot of boring stories, but never told the same story twice.
Even when you were like
And
with other people, and he
Never.
would not say the story
It was-
that you've heard.
Yeah, and I never heard. I heard his draft story one time. Yeah, he didn't like the sound. He didn't want to listen to himself necessarily. That's an amazing thing about a human being, to say that about him. And
Yeah.
the other thing is that this is crazy. He never criticized me, ever. And one time I can remember him saying, and he says, you leave a lot of shoes around. That's it. 40
dare
years.
you.
40 years. 40 years. And when he would get mad or something, and he was such a nice guy, and he would just take it, and I would just blah, 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 blah. And just occasionally, once every 2 or 3 years, he would say, enough. And when he said enough, boy, it just freaked me out.
It's like kind of like when you use words,
I know.
like certain words you shouldn't, like if you cuss too much, doesn't come off strong. But if you use it once in a while,
Once every 3 years, you
Yeah.
say enough, everybody was, No, but it was so how I got so lucky in love, because I could attract an asshole across a crowded room like you couldn't believe until I met him. And anyways.
So wait, you didn't finish the story of like, okay, so he stops asking, and did you just
I kind
nudge
of
him?
asked him. I said, why'd you stop asking
Oh,
me?
you
And
just
then
said,
we
why'd you stop asking?
Yeah,
and
then
did
we
he
just-
ask you like right away?
And
Or
then we laughed, and we just did it. We just called up our friends and had a really wonderful wedding.
it's lovely.
I know, it was lovely.
How long were you seeing each other until that took place?
Oh, I think he moved up there. We probably lived together for a year. I don't really. Yeah, a year. 89. I think I'm 88, 89, and then I don't know. Right in there. It's a blur, but it was it was really, really fun being married to him. I just feel like I was so lucky in love. I don't know how I got that lucky.
And did you fill up that warehouse with him quickly? Did he have he was like on the stages of dementia at that point, or?
No, but like I say, he was really dyslexic, so there was always a kind of a, but no, we really embraced it. Like, we realized how great it was and how much fun we were having there, and it was just filled with his stuff. It was a mess, and he made a big mess, and he had tons and paints everywhere, and I was the one that was sort of doing the front. And then Marco, who works there, he started doing some silk screening and working with James and doing a lot of stuff. He was just magic, and he was great. And then John Kennedy works. I worked with him at Saddleback in the ceramics, and we bought a kiln together, which is why we've got that. I wrote something down before I came here. I said, "Don't talk more than Nick."
I don't talk a lot at all, so that's pretty hard to do. I don't think we can fill up an hour and a half if that's going to be your rule.
So I wrote it down. It's in my thing. Don't talk more than Nick. I thought I'd better write it on my head.
Well, once you get Nick rolling, I feel like he's endless on what he has to talk about.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
But you're new to my show, so I wanted to get to know you a little bit. And I did ask you a while back, and I just been meaning to get you. But there's never a perfect time. Because I feel like I need it perfect. I need to have this everything perfectly set up. But I'm happy to just have you on and just do this. So thank you again for doing this.
I told you, he asked me. I said no.
Yeah, well, Diana's learning how to say yes right now, and I'm learning how to say no right now.
Yeah, once you get to your 40s, that's when you start like learning how to say no.
Yeah.
And then you get a little older, and you're like, all right,
Send
I'll
it
say
to
yes.
me.
Yes to more.
I had to meet her in person to convince her. Trust me, it wasn't as easy as a text or a phone call.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was going to be that I should have maybe contributed as well or asked personally again or something. But again,
you had asked me before, and I thought, oh my God, it's the last thing I'm going to do.
Just be on a recording.
Or blah blah.
You're
blah,
a
blah.
natural at it so far.
But I feel like there's so much repetition because so many. It's the story of people walking in the building. What is this place? What are you doing? No. I should have just tape it in like Bruce Nauman or something.
You send them like a little note and just walk away.
Or just this ongoing thing about what's going on, and sort of a drone in the speakers.
Well, that's what it's like being an ambassador for that space. You hear it all the time, but for the people that walk in, it's this fresh, new experience. So you got to put on the show for them.
Ambassadors is basically the role they have to play.
There was a time I had in a row within 2 years, like 5 women that walked in there and started crying. No account. I don't know why.
You still don't know why?
Did they
start crying
they're kind of crying because maybe they wanted to be an artist, or crying because they didn't realize it was possible.
Yeah.
And I kind of love to warp children's minds, like when I get kids coming in there.
So what are you saying? They're crying by like inspiration?
I'm not sure. Crying, crying like maybe a lost opportunity or something.
You never talked about it with them?
Well, no, you just sort of try to comfort them or something.
And then they leave after?
Yeah, and then they just leave. It
That's
stopped.
very
but
bizarre.
But there was a series. Marco was there. I mean, people...
Wow.
You should have called your place the 4 Crying Women or something like that.
I think there are a lot of people that maybe regret unrealized, like, artistic tendencies or something. And when people, a lot of times kids come in here, they say, I just don't have this space, or I don't have this, which I'm not buying any of that. I always tell them, you get a piece of plywood and put it on your bed, and just start, there's never a reason not to do it. But it's hard to have, 3 sides of the triangle, which is like time, space, and an idea. But,
Yes.
So you really have to like be open to it, like watch for it. And then don't complain, just do it. It will. Well, I saw it so much with my husband, but people say, oh, I don't have the talent, or I don't have it. It doesn't have anything to do with that. It's just will.
Yeah. It's like that. Absolutely. It's like that Shia LaBeouf video where he's in the front of the green screen. He's like, just do it. you know, and it's kind of like, and then like the
Yeah,
Nike
yeah.
phrase, just do it. It is
Yeah.
like, because I think
Yeah.
it's so simple.
Yeah.
It's get out of your head and stop thinking.
Yeah.
Just do what the thing you want to do, and do whatever it takes to take those steps to get there.
And once you've done it, then it just tells you what to do next.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's just like make a mess. Just get in there and make a mess. And then you're sort of signaling to your loved ones that people always imply that art is like a selfish act. It's just exactly the opposite. Like a lot of times people think that they might be taking time away from their kids or they're doing something. It's just the opposite. You're fulfilling, you know, that's the role you want to, that's who you want to be for your loved ones.
Yeah.
Is the person that gets your own stuff done.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it just makes the world a better place. Like you know.
That's why it makes me sad when I hear people say like, "Oh, I don't have a creative bone in my body," or you know, I can't do that. And yeah, it's like, well, first of all, if you're gonna keep on talking about yourself like that, yeah. But
Yeah.
secondly, like, yeah, everybody can be. It's something within you that you need to learn to unlock. You know?
Yeah.
Well, it's not like it may not be a canvas, but it might be
Anything.
a kitchen. You know, it could be. I mean, mixed martial arts is fighting is an art. You know, stand-up comedy is an art.
Yeah.
A lot of things that it's just an expression of who you are is an art.
Yeah.
And they got to again get out of your head and not be afraid to make mistakes. I mean, when I started with this, it was live on the air on a college radio station. I mean, there's not many people listening, but still, it's nerve-wracking. And you got to be not afraid to make mistakes. And I'll own up to it. You just be, oh, I messed that up or whatever. You just.
But listen, what a radio voice he has.
You're now tuned in live to the jazz885.org.
But I bet it wasn't like that on day one. You know. I'm
Well, it's
sure
very
some
nervous. Yeah,
practice.
like I had. What happens is you just take a introductory course, and then the second level is basically having your own show.
Yeah.
And yeah, the very first, and I actually did the final. Small World that he knows about. The final on the first semester was with his girlfriend. Because he had to do like a group one of a live to air recording.
They were in the same radio class together. Yeah.
Who?
Kendall.
Oh, I didn't want to say the wrong name. No, great. Oh,
Yeah.
so she does. That's great. She's got flair and thinks about this. I love
Yeah.
it. It's an art
And
form.
then comes around is I had him come on the show and I had Shane come on the show there.
Yeah. I
and-
listened to that show with Shane and Nick, and they're just the kindest, sweetest guys. Like listening and they both talked the same amount of time. Nobody hogged it. You guys were so good together.
And Shane's brother is really good too. He did well.
yeah.
Shane and his brother came on together, and that was a really good one too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but yeah, again, it's like don't. And I did every show live. You could do like the option to pre-record, but I'm like, screw that. I'm gonna do this live, and maybe I will screw up, and maybe I won't transition from talking to a music break so smoothly. But you just do it. It's not like you hear people I listen to a radio show every morning, and this guy's been doing it for more than 30 years. He still makes mistakes, but he just owns up to it and moves on.
Well, you don't want to say anything about anybody that you regret. That's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah, that's true.
You can't unwind that, unhear it. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I can. If you said anything on here, I can chop it out.
You can take a name out or something.
I would like to try to avoid it. I'd like to keep it because then the question is, it's kind of like this Barbra Streisand effect of like what was cut out there, what did they say, and then that's like the main focus.
The missing minutes. I do remember that the one that I listened to with Nick and Shane, which is delightful and wonderful as it was, it did ramble off into some Laguna Niguel real estate. So maybe we can like cut that off. Are we done?
No,
we got something else here.
No, I think that I
You
don't
didn't like that part?
I thought this part was really a stretch.
Laguna Niguel. I will go off to mundane because what happens with mundane is mundane can lead to something else. Okay. So basically, you could talk about your favorite color, and then all of a sudden we're talking about whatever it is.
Sex.
You know,
Well, my mom listened to that episode, and the one thing that she told me was, I really like hearing about the history of Laguna Niguel and you guys talking about
Exactly.
that. My favorite part.
That's also another
That's
thing is
funny.
with art, you can't worry about what other people are going to think, right? So
Absolutely.
so if we're talking about boring ass Laguna Niguel, but beautiful nonetheless, so it's going to strike a chord with his mother or people that are from here. So, I'm trying to be kind of locally grown here in a way.
I get it.
That's why St. Clemente is been thriving for me in a way. So
Also, the Laguna Niguel Chamber of Commerce is an official sponsor of the Jeff and Jeffrey show. So, we have to, throw in a little plug.
we got to throw a little plug to there. Shout out to Laguna Niguel City of Laguna Niguel. I know, like these are too much for you. Let me know.
Don't you have any others?
Oh, I have plenty.
Oh, never mind.
I have like an explosion one too that I like to do a lot. But
Any duck quacks for when we cuss?
Oh, I have like the sensor where you.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, and then megaphone's fun.
You're now tuned in live to the Jeffrey and Jeffrey Show.
But yeah, there's this.
That's a good one.
I love this device. If we do anything, if we fail, we go. That's fun. I used to throw this one a lot. That'd be one I used the radio show a lot. But now it's just more talking because then it just becomes more of a gimmick show than me trying to just rely on sound effects the whole time.
A whacking morning commute show.
Yeah. I wanted to ask, so you seem to have such a knack for fashion. Where does this all come from? Is it just basically because you are an artist?
He's the one.
Well, I mean, I'm going to go to you too. I mean, I guess it's the question for both of you because, you both seem to have a real knack for it.
Well, I'll just take that as a compliment.
Okay, that's it.
Well, yeah, I like music that looks good. I just bought I bought a drum set. We had a drum kit that was falling apart, just pieces underneath on the floor, like it was just breaking apart. I thought Nick would kind of walk me through it, and he was some help. But I thought, I've purchased big things before. I just went down to Drum Flip in Oceanside, and I'm talking to this guy about drums, and he couldn't have been nicer. And I said, all I care about is how it looks.
Is it bright and shiny?
Yeah, that's too shiny, or no bling, or I like this color. This looks like wood, but it kind of looks a little goldish. And he kept like hitting the cymbals and saying, listen to this, and I'm like, it's looking a little shiny. I mean, it was just a total like it's as if that was the only plane I could see these instruments through was how they looked. So I got a good looking set.
You have like one of the best teachers you could afford.
He was on the he was on the phone. He said,
Yeah, she
be
consulted
brave,
me. Yeah,
be brave. Yeah.
Yeah. Go talk to the guys at Drum Flip. They're very nice.
I know they have a satin black one, but maybe not.
Yeah, I consulted a little bit on the drum set.
Yes, you
so
did.
yeah, I was
and
like,
then
yes,
came over
that's-
and tuned them up and set them up. So anyway, enjoy them when you come and see them.
Yeah.
But it's just a visual. That's the plane I live in. It's just how stuff looks.
Yeah. Aesthetics. Is there any piece of art or clothing that you could never, other than like your James art or yours, like is there like a rare piece of art that you might have that you just, or even one that's cheap that you just love that you can't part with, you can never get rid of, never will
I think
sell?
she's got about like 2,000 of those things that she can't
I just
part
want to
with.
say, I'm going to pitch this because there is a podcast called Fashion Neurosis, and she's British, and Ella Freud. Anyway, she always asks. The first thing she asks is, "What was your first, article of clothing that you remember?" And she's got this amazing voice. So I'm pitching that if anybody's looking for a really great podcast. She did Nick Cave and a lot of these people and talks to them about their clothing. It's pretty great.
Cool.
But I'm a hoarder, a clothes hoarder, and a fabric. It's all about the fabric. I'm just feeling it all the time, and I'm a shopper, serious thrift store shopper, like serious.
Where do you go for thrifting?
I'm not telling.
I see her at the thrift store, and they know her there, and
I only go to one.
They let her in the secret back area that nobody else is allowed.
Oh,
into
I
and
know
show
the
her all
place. Is it
No,
stop.
I'm
I'm
not
not gonna say the name.
Stop. We don't need to talk about.
We can say it off air.
But it's a kind of thing happens to me when I go to a thrift store, and it has a lot to do with art supplies,
Yeah.
art ideas. But it's like white light, And I have a woman one time, I was walking into the thrift store and she said to me, "Oh, when I see you, I feel like I'm not even going to bother, you know." And I didn't recognize her at all. And I said, "I'm sure I'm just looking for art supplies," is what I say, you know.
Yeah.
We're not looking for the same stuff. And I said, "But I've never seen you before." And she goes, "I see you every day."
Oh no.
So and thrift store is like gambling. It's something you definitely buy yourself. You don't take your friends.
Yeah.
And it's a real kind of therapeutic thing. So when I leave that building, it's when I get just sort of wound up or something, and so I just pop over to the thrift store. And,
Have you ever been to Tippecanoes when it used to
I
exist?
remember like the Laguna or something.
Yeah, you go up the
Vaguely.
staircase?
Yeah, vaguely.
Like a dangerous staircase.
I don't want it pre-picked. I like being first pick. Like
Yeah.
out of the car.
Donation base.
Yeah, out of the car.
None of the riffraff.
Yeah.
But you never.
Okay,
It's so
you
random. Okay, go ahead.
You want to ask me I've gotten a lot of great stuff. I mean, a lot. My whole life, everything that's
Yeah.
in that building. If I didn't make it, it's from the thrift store.
Yeah.
Every piece of furniture in my home too, like
Yeah.
everything. But I do have this kind of claim to fame where I walked into the back and they had a framed piece like leaning against the trash because it's a religious-based thrift store, so they don't sell anything with any nudity. And there was a Man Ray print signed by Man Ray.
Really?
I'll show it to you. Anyway,
Somebody just donated that?
donated
They
a Man
had
Ray
no
print.
idea what it was.
Listen, everything comes to the thrift stores. That second generation, they don't know.
Yeah.
They don't know. But anyway, so getting a Man Ray print in San Clemente was kind of a victory.
Wow, that's amazing.
The other great thing that I got recently was a whole entire coat made of soda can lids, soda can.
I just want to see
Man Ray, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
There you go. Signed. I know French. These are iconic. I can tell you something about this painting, which is going to break your hearts. That
Which one, the
painting-
lips
The
one?
lips. That lip painting is about 10 feet by 4 feet. That's
wow.
That's the observatory in Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
And it would have been the most iconic, important painting about Los Angeles ever. It was sold to a Greek tycoon, and it was trashed on a yacht. And that painting no longer is.
Trashed how? Intentionally or
spaghetti?
something?
I don't know. It was just trash.
That looks like the Griffith Observatory.
That
right
was what it was. It
Oh,
was
wow.
observatory. And it not only when you see that, I saw that painting before, and it's
there. That is sad.
it's so beautifully painted. It's just, I mean, look at that thing.
You know, there's some theories out there that say that Man Ray potentially was the.
He's nasty.
Yeah, well, there's theories out there where some people believe that he was the Black Dahlia murderer. Yeah, there's a lot of
Really? I
holes in
know.
that theory, you know.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
How-
there's some convincing.
I was showing that picture. I have a friend that told me that he inherited a closet that had all those hangers, and I was asking if we couldn't just hang it like a Calder, like a mobile with those hangers.
That's okay.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
How was he misbehaving? Was he a
There's
naughty boy?
These surrealists, go back. These surrealists, come back. Okay, they really did not like women. They dismembered women, and it was.
Ew.
I mean, all the art where the parts were dismembered.
Yeah.
Mannequins and this.
That's
They
right,
were.
because like when the Black Dahlia, I forget her name, when she was murdered, like her body was set in a certain way that was like similar to
Hollywood
this
Hills.
style. You
Oh,
know?
yeah.
okay.
Yeah, it's and they there's a term which is so disturbing to me, which is the muse, which is really always what they referred to the women
Yeah.
as muses, which just put them in service
Mm-hmm.
of the men and their art. And
There it is.
I know. And in most cases, these women were making spectacular art. In fact, there's such a resurgence of women surrealist art right now, and they're finding them, and these museums are just clamoring after them.
Want to save this image?
It's beautiful, isn't it?
What's the name? You know the name of this
The
title?
I think it's the lips.
Oh.
Oh no, here it is.
Le
observatory.
Les
Love.
Amoraux.
Yeah.
I had when my mother passed, she was friends with Sol LeWitt. Do you know who he is?
I do know a lot.
So
How was she friends? Like
she
how
kind of
did
like
meet him?
went to a show of his, and I guess they just kept in
Such an
touch.
important artist. He was really a nice man.
Yeah, I got some collector's drawings.
You have some Sullivan?
I did. I sold them because they were just collecting. They were just like little drawings.
Oh.
but I got a
Well,
good
we
amount of
probably
money
should
for it.
explain it just a little bit because he would, they were written instructions for art. And then he would have art assistants like line up these, threads and strings,
Mm-hmm.
and they were just beautiful, very minimal.
Yeah.
And
I have this
he's
one.
really an important artist.
Yeah, it's just like basic
This is
drawings.
later on,
Like
but
there's like
his earlier stuff.
yeah, he had just it was like basic pencil drawings, but they were kind of
Yeah.
considered collector's items, but they would seem more valuable to someone else than me having them. I didn't see it. But I lost a piece where it's just like a bunch of his thoughts on a big construction paper.
Yeah.
I can't find it. And it's, I mean,
Find it.
I know. I've been.
Okay, I do have a Solowit story that I have a really dear friend that showed him. She had a gallery in Los Angeles in the mid '70s, and she showed some wonderful artists, some European artists and some wonderful artists, but she showed Solowit. And it was at the time when collectors wanted to fly to New York to buy stuff. And so she showed his work, and it looked beautiful in her beautiful gallery, but no one would buy it from her. They flew to New York to buy it from his gallery in New York. And he stepped in and he refused. He wouldn't let the New York gallery sell it to him. He made him buy them from her.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, which was just such she was really a young art dealer at the time. It was such a gesture of support, and she always, and he also has these beautiful letters that he wrote to another artist. Oh my God, gorgeous. He was special.
I think I know something about that. Benedict Cumberbatch did a letter from Solowit or something like that,
I
and
bet.
he read it to like an auditorium or something
What
like
was
that.
it? Oh my God, I'm going to read that at the poetry reading.
Oh, yeah, you should.
I'm trying to remember the name of the artist. I think she did not live a long life. Eva Hess. It was a woman artist that he exchanged with, and they wrote and he was such a gesture of support. Oh my gosh, I hope it was her.
It has to be because of course being the actor he is illustrates it so well.
Yeah. Oh, wow. Anyway, special guy. Rest in peace.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you for that. I can't believe you
Yeah,
had a
it
little
was fu-
Solowit thing.
Yeah,
I
I
would
went-
have counseled you on that.
Yeah, I had I know I unfortunately didn't know you at the time, but I was meeting up for a gal in Laguna, and she was way late, so I'm wandering around, and I finally took it upon myself just to walk into one of the galleries next door to Earth Cafe.
Yeah,
So I'm like in the deep of Laguna.
I remember those galleries. Yeah.
Yeah, and
What's his name? Peter Blake? No.
I forget the name of the gallery,
Mm-hmm.
but I was like, I was just kind of looking,
Yeah.
and then the lady goes, "You need help with anything?" I'm like, "No, not really." But then I turn around, I'm like, "I have these Solowit items." Yeah, and do you know anybody I can go talk to? And then she referred me to a dealer, an arts dealer, and then she got them sold. So
So it was official. Like you felt like you didn't accidentally hand them off or something. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel like there was she obviously wanted to make her money off of it too. So but I got because I was the one that got this all happening, and then I gave some to my brothers just to be fair with the whole thing. But I mean, it was just better than sitting in my closet because I don't know.
He has permanent installations at a beautiful upstate facility, Dia Art, and it's like they fill whole rooms. They're just beautiful. They're very elegant, very minimal, and really of its time, but nice.
Here it is. So let me get that in there. So there it is. Benedict Cumberbatch reads Solowit's letters to Eva Hess. Is that
Eva
what-
Hess.
Yeah.
Is that who I said? I did say Eva Hess. Yeah. Yeah.
So he has if you ever want to, I'm not going to play this whole thing, but if you ever want to look into that.
We have poetry reading, and since I'm certainly not a poet, we have them at the building, and they're wonderful. So I could read one of these.
Dear Eva, April 14th. Almost a month since you wrote to me, and you have possibly forgotten your state of mind. I doubt it, though. Seem the same as always. Being you, hate every minute of it. Don't. Learn to say fuck you to the world every once in a while. You have every right to. Just stop thinking, worrying, looking over your shoulder, wondering, doubting, fearing, hurting, hoping for some easy way out, struggling,
Grasping, confusing, itching, scratching, mumbling, bumbling, grumbling, humbling, stumbling, numbling, rambling, gambling, tumbling, scumbling, scrambling, hitching, hatching, bitching, moaning, groaning, honing, boning, horse shitting, hair splitting, nitpicking, piss trickling, nose sticking, ass gouging, eyeball poking, finger pointing, alleyway sneaking, long waiting, small stepping, evil eyeing, back scratching, searching, perching, besmirching, grinding.
Doesn't sound like Saul Wit to me.
Grinding away at yourselves.
I have a similar writing style to this. It sounds like my writing style. It's a
Yeah.
lot of rhyming words and alliteration.
Yeah. I mean, you said he's such a nice guy.
That's what I know. It's throwing me off. He's very mild mannered and very, very nice. She was dramatic. Yeah, she's a wonderful artist.
Well, how do you feel? Is there dream dinner party with 3 artists? Both of you.
Visual artist?
Any artist.
It's so funny because I have an artist that I would love to have share time with, and he doesn't talk. But
So you wouldn't be very fun.
he's not kind of lively, but every time I see his work, I go, why didn't I make that? Why I could have made that myself. Why didn't I make that? And so I would like to spend time with him. And it's William Levitt. I'll think of 2 others.
I wonder if Bukowski would be fun to hang out with, or he'd just be you have to catch him at the right drunk or something like that.
Probably.
That's interesting. I'm sure he would be annoying and abusive. Clever by half. Yeah.
Probably be like a comedian that I like to hang out, like Will Ferrell or something like that.
Or George Carlin. I'll take George Carlin.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
I would maybe dinner, like King Griffey Jr., who was my favorite baseball player. I would like to sit with him, but I don't know if he would be any fun now. I don't know. Who knows?
Yeah.
So it's like never meet.
Who are your people?
It's like never meet your heroes.
I know.
Dream dinner would probably be John Waters, David Bowie,
David Lynch.
David Lynch. Yeah.
David Lynch.
I wanted to put like one visual artist in
Or
there.
one
Like I got one
woman
director,
in there.
one musician. Yeah.
It'd be cool to meet Daniel Day-Lewis, but
It'd
feel intense. It'd be like an intense dinner.
Yeah, no, I don't want to hang out with him.
But yeah, comedians would probably be more fun to do because they're more naturally fun to.
Well, no, but they're depressed, so.
Yeah, but they like to hang out with amongst other comedians because they.
Yeah, work off. Yeah.
Yeah.
John
Wait.
Waters.
Who do you want to have? Oh, you told me, baseball player. Okay.
Well, yeah, but I'm kind of thinking. I didn't even think about this. I had the question. I just didn't think about it for myself.
I know it's tough.
Like Jim Carrey, but Jim Carrey has gotten to he's got a little overboard on his like thoughts. Dude.
He's a painter.
Yeah, and his art is pretty good.
Yeah, it is.
Or not just pretty good. It's like really good.
No, serious.
He gets a little political on it, but still has a skill set there.
I haven't seen it.
I got to look at some because I want to know the politics. Yeah.
I think he's got like some anti-Trump and stuff like that. So, but
Good.
let's see. Jim Carrey art. He like has that art where he's like laying on top of it, like on a little thing that holds him, so he can like
A scaffolding or something?
yeah,
Okay,
a scaffolding. Yeah. Let's get some images going. So that's him doing just,
I love it with pictures of his studio because he buys really good paint and he gets got tables and tables of great paint.
Oh, do you like David Cho at all? Have you seen David Cho?
It's really ringing a bell.
He's like, he got like super successful because he painted murals in like the Facebook office, and they gave him a little piece of stock for, and of course that stock exploded. So he's kind of a wild boy.
Nice.
But yeah, he's got some crazy art.
Yeah. Good for him.
And it looks like some, I don't think he did that one. Yeah, he does some cool.
No, listen, it's good for him.
And he has some good.
Probably saved his life.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, you think? Oh, here's what I was talking about. He like hangs on like a ladder or something like that and paints.
Oh, like a plank or something.
Yeah.
And
I always thought that was cool.
Yeah, love that's nice.
But yeah.
Yeah, good for him.
All right. Well, I appreciate you so much, both of you, for coming out. I'm always
thank you.
happy to see both of you every time we're doing the art crawl together.
Talk more than Nick.
Nick, do you have any final parting words? Where we can reach you? Did you want to shout out to anything?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, follow SC Art Crawl on Instagram. What's your Instagram? It's Donaldson Hill.
There's two, but there's Donaldson Hill Arts.
Donaldson Hill Arts.
That's kind of like your main account, your personal account, right?
No, my personal one is Diana Donaldson.
Okay, I think we've.
And
okay.
Dallin, we haven't talked about Dallin. There's a wonderful painter that works in there, and he's fantastic, and he's been really helpful. I mean, he's one of the three legs of this art crawl stool. But anyway, so come see his work. Like his work is fabulous. And what else was I telling you?
Well, we go no joke.
Oh yeah,
no
I know
joke.
it's just Donaldson Hill Arts and Diana Donaldson.
And we wouldn't be able to find you with no joke, right? If we were to search.
No joke doesn't come up. I think it's just
making yeah. Well, I know that. I just want to make sure the audience is
We're
aware.
usually talking about Dallin, but I wanted to avoid a bit of the art crawl talk for this one, just because the past couple times it's been all art crawl.
Yeah,
this, art crawl that.
Yeah, I've been trying to avoid that a little
His
bit.
listeners don't want to hear that anymore. So.
They're so sick of it. All my three listeners.
Fart.
All right. Well, again, thank you so much for coming, and
Thank you, Jeff.
you all go Jeff yourselves. Have a good evening.